and my mom was in the kitchen, my homie in the kitchen, and the sisters in the kitchen serving the food. And I don't know how it was asked. My homie might have asked something, and the way he responded, it was just like, I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing on it. Just give me the. You can just give me the bread and the patty. I'm like, huh? The way he said it, and the way he was looking out to the side, and then my homie was like, all of a sudden, what you say? I done got tired. She said, oops, I done got tired. All of a sudden, I'm about to go ahead and leave and da-da-da-da. I'm like, So I didn't say nothing. I sat there and watched. I'm like, oh, you think you finna handle? Okay. Because, again, some of y'all made the mistake to think this was a label. This ain't no label. When you say Pharaoh clan, you talking about the family of the... Are you okay? The Pharaoh is Tough Nut. That's what you don't understand. When all them statues was taken off the land, the last two statues on the land was Yeshua and Tough Nut. How do I know this? Because I was there. After they said nobody could go on the land, and they put that black bar in front of it, and the marshals and all of them was making their finalization of their sale, you want to know who went back on the land anyway, hypothetically? It was hypothetical. Hypothetically, me and my mama and my brothers and them went on the land anyway. And we saw Yeshua laying there with his shit nailed into the ground, and Tough Nut with her ankles cut, laid out. I remember the wax inside. It was like white wax inside her statue. If it wasn't wax, it was the concrete. Maybe that's what I was remembering. But I remember that inside, seeing the inside and seeing the ants crawling up her legs. And I remember that she picked up her name plaque too, which we wound up losing when they might have thrown out our stuff. So we wound up losing the name plaque. But what people don't know is a lot of the statues, if not all of them, they had name plaques that glue in the dark. So her name was on her statue. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, my mama's name Tough Nut, and that's the statue made for her. People don't know that either. You only know that if you knew AEO, Ancient Egyptian Order, and if you knew the story behind it. I don't gotta explain all that. But the point is, the Pharaoh Aferti, that's Tough Nut. The Sphinx is Tough Nut. The ruler of Heliopolis is Tough Nut. That's the one. And she is partnered with Atumre and Shu. So you can't disregard and disrespect that one and think life finna get smooth for you. So I seen that happen. I said, oh, okay. And when that happened and went down, I said, oh, let him go. Nah, fuck all that. Let him go. And the next person that said that to me, they came with like, well, they tell me $9.99. I might as well just, you know what I'm saying, stay with the label. I said, I don't think you should stay with the label just because you didn't want to pay the $9.99. You see? It's about principle. You see? The reason why you said you wanted to lead is to have control over your music and all of that. Nobody was trying to take control over your music. They were doing their best to make sure you got everything in place. And then you honor your contract. Everybody else was hitting and saying they want to drop music. Nobody was controlling their music. They were just dropping their music because they were producing the music the way it was supposed to be produced. How it's supposed to be produced. When you own a label, you make sure that the producer is paid. If the producer ain't paid up front, you make sure that whatever producer you're working with, you got their BMI information, their ASCAP information, and you register the splits. It's a way to do things. Nobody's trying to control your music. They were saying she's operating a label. She can't run this shit sloppy. You didn't want structure. You got to have structure one way or the other. Even if you're independent, you must have structure. And this is why independent artists don't make it if they don't have structure. Can independent artists make it? Yes, only the ones with structure. So there's certain ways that they was explaining for you to be able to go about things. No, I don't suggest you stay on the label. I suggest you do what you initially thought to do. And don't worry about that $9.99 because I was just trying to see how it would move forward from there. If you would have the principle to know that because you didn't honor your contract, that's what it's called. It's called a buyout. But you didn't know that? People buy out their contracts. They be having to spend $100,000, $150,000, sometimes $200,000. Hey, buyouts be ruthless. For somebody to say $9.99, you should have known what it was about. It wasn't about the money. So I don't suggest you stay with the label. I suggest you move on, because this is not a label. This is a mission. This is a fight. And if you ain't ready to deal with it in the dirt, then you won't be ready to deal with it in the glory. This ain't going to get no easier. You just going to get more equipped. We're fighting, though. I know y'all want to make music. Listen, but I said all this. For me to have to go back in and explain it again means that the Enoshite side is kicking in. I already said all this. I said this ain't just music. I said you don't sign up so much you want to fight if you ain't ready to fight. I said all this already. So you can't say I'm tripping. I've been said what this was. I said you're going to have to put your foot forward. You got to show up for yourself. You got to be consistent. You got to stay on top of it. I see you, I'm going to see you. You see? So when certain people's name came out, I said, I've been seeing them. I've been seeing them pop up. Nah, they good. Other people's name came on, I said, hey, it's about time for them to go. Because it's a vehicle and we got to move. Now, do that mean you ousted out? No. At the same time, if I ask where you been, that's a real question. Where you actually been? If the world get more attention, then play in the world. I'm not one of the ones who gonna ever mishandle you. I'm not one of the ones who gonna turn people around me against you. I ain't turn people around me who slander me. Or people around me against people who slander me. Those people were still invited to pull up and show up. You know, I'm not this type of person. At the same time, I gotta stop letting people think this shit's sweet. It's not sweet. This is a fight. To say you're gonna fight and then not fight is a slap in the face. And if for somebody to take a slap in the face and humbly say, go ahead and exit the door. That's the best thing you do. Go ahead and exit that door. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to hold on, because if you didn't initially want to take that fight for whatever reason, it's not that you have a wrong thing going on. It's like, for whatever reason, go ahead and make room for one, or go ahead and move in another direction for two. Who knows? Maybe someone else is supposed to be in that seat and you just holding it. But I'm telling you, I know energy better than any motherfucking body. I don't know why, but I do. And I know when something becomes stagnant, it's energy based. If shit ain't moving, you got to check what's around you. If you pulling a wagon and all of a sudden you realize, man, you know what I'm saying? And it's like pulling a wagon in the rain. After a while, that wagon get a little too heavy. Because too much water, you got to dump that shit out. Say, hey, I'm going to clean this out. Don't take offense to it. Just know that this is how this go. This is what this is. But I don't want to make this clear. I don't want to hold nobody to no label. I want to make that clear. I don't want to hold nobody to no label. Farrakhan was some shit that I came up with in school to get this fight on the road. You say you want to go on ahead. Go on ahead. I don't want to hold you. I'm not one of the people, because I don't want to deal with 5 years of your soul lingering around. I'm not that type of person. Go ahead. You should have been able. Somebody should have. If you ain't already got the message, it's coming. Somebody should have already told you, yo, the contract is terminated. We're at war. We're at war. You see, this is a real thing. Some of y'all are about to allow the attention of the world to dictate how you move, even in reference to me, and even in regards to me. So when you do that, don't look at me wrong when I disappear on you. Don't look at me wrong. Because I told you, a blink of an eye, and I'm not reachable. Because you get one time to slight me. You see, you get one time. That's never going to slip from my mind. I'm going to remember and say, what would have been the reason to do that? So you got to be real cautious in these days of how you talk to me. If you got problems with me, you better bring it to me. Especially those who close to me. If I fuck with you, I'm going to tell you that. If I fuck with you, I'm going to tell you, hey, don't let me hear about some shit from somebody else. Don't ever let that happen. You got a problem? Bring that shit to me. Because we in motion. And we got to be in such motion now that no matter where I'm at or how I'm positioned, it still got to work or it's over. It's just what it is. It's over. It got to move like that. It can't move like that if don't nobody know they damn role. But that's my fault, because what I was doing was attempting to play. I ain't never want to be viewed as no dictator. So I played the back role of, I'm just be nice. I'm gonna let people just, but I did that too much, I think. And I'm okay with that. I can accept that. But I think I did that a little too much. Because when things would happen, and it's like no matter how much you give people and how much you do, once things don't go their way, they forget all of it. You see? For example, and I'll talk about, actually, some of this stuff I can't speak on algorithm-wise. But some of this stuff I'll speak on in the Boundless book. And don't worry, when I release the book, you'll be able to purchase it. But if you know what I'm saying, if you just hate me, and you're like, fuck that, I ain't purchasing it, then just come live and you'll be able to get it for free. And you know what I'm saying? I have one of the sisters read it. Either way, because I want you to know what's in it if you're around. Other than that, when I put it out there for purchase, people like purchasing books. Nothing wrong with that. So they'll get it from me. In the Boundless book, I ain't gonna say too much. It's one of them. It's like a I ain't gonna say too much. So it's a real good pivotal point in all of the books, and that symbol that's now floating out here, people gonna have questions about. You're gonna see it more. You know what I'm saying? It's already starting to take place. So here's what you do: take that symbol, start putting it out places. I'm not saying go put it up on people's business. I'm saying take the symbol. You can use the symbol profile picture. You can post a symbol in somebody's comment section. You can make a video with the symbol in it. You know what I'm saying? Without even explaining the symbol. This is how you start affecting the subconscious plane. Because it's going to show up more. People going to wonder about it. And that's where the mysteries start to unravel. It starts with a wonder, a question. So what is that? Why is that? Who is that? Whose symbol is that? What is that? And then they're going to have, no matter what we do, you know who's going to have something to say about it. The fucking Sabians. It's like he's eating ice cream. He's eating ice cream. We don't eat ice cream. It's vegan. We ain't vegans. We vegetarians. No matter what we do, the Sabian gonna say something, bro. He using green light. That's Dr. York. You can't use green light. Dr. York owns green. Shut your stupid ass. Hey, man, the only one who probably has something negative to say about the symbol is the Sabian, so just be ready for that. But they don't know what the fuck the symbol is, so they can't really say shit. They just have to find something to say. I don't understand this shit. You got to find something to say. You don't even know what it is. How you going to know what it is and nobody know what it is except me? You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll explain certain pieces about it, but if I say 5760 to you, you don't know what I'm talking about. The most of these Nuwapian Sabians on the approach is the 720, and they don't have that because they haven't mastered the primitive self. So you can't have 720. How you have 720 and you haven't mastered the primitive self? You see? So, yeah, but they definitely wouldn't understand no 5760. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would just say be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that, too. But don't let this world snatch you. Don't let this world snatch you. Don't let it snatch you. Because it's reaching and it's grabbing. Do not let them snatch you. All right? Watch out. It's going to be I said all this shit, bro. What the fuck? I said it. I said they're going to invite you to the club. They're going to invite you to a party. They're going to invite you to the girls' night, the girls' trip. They're going to invite you to hang out, come kick it with the boys. They're going to invite you this. They're going to invite you that. I said you got to be ready to turn it down because that's when it's going to be active. I don't know, man. I don't miss, but now it's happening. It's like I'm seeing it. And then it's like, oh, it get to changing the energy real bad. Because it's like I didn't understand. I couldn't understand why, if I'm saying two people around me ain't attending, why would two people that's in the outside world, why would they be upset with me? I couldn't understand the upset. I could understand you disagree. Because you could disagree, be like, it's just a way to go about things like, oh, they can't come? Oh, man, we wanted them to come, da-da-da-da. But what I'm saying, like, what's up with you? What's up with me? I'm saying, like, what's up with you? What you mean, what's up with me? I'm just saying they ain't coming. But why they can't come? Like, it's giving controlling. I'm like, I'm trying to make sure I'm hearing. I'm like, am I hearing this right? I'm just saying, like, I get it, because maybe this is how you groomed them. I said, what the fuck? Did you just say groomed to me? Did you just use they lingo out there? Did you say groomed? It's like, and then what's so crazy, both realities can be true depending on who you are. Somebody might look at it and say that if a man can say no and it's respected, that he must have groomed the people around him. No, because how you would have made it, think about what I'm about to say, because nobody like to look at the real shit. How you would have made it if it was Malachi? No, not if, when it was. Because it was. How you would have made it? He a man. That's how I know a lot of y'all say y'all fuck with and walk with the master and love the master, all of that, because he's far away. It's called the far away love effect. It fails. Far away love effect. I came up with that. It's that far away love effect that got people out here saying I shook and they love and divine love. Man, no. Because if he was right up on you, you have resentment toward him because he ain't gonna let you do 90% of the shit I sat there and act like I ain't see. Nobody would have made it past the gate when they pulled up to the sanctuary and the wind blew them gates down. He would have walked out there and said, well, it doesn't seem like today's today. And he would have went in the house and told one of the sisters or the brothers to tell, hey, we ain't doing it. And let you feel however you want to feel. He not coming out, that's it, and you got to go. The perimeter ain't going to put their hands on you. They just going to start walking in your direction, and you going to start moving. Trust me, you are. Well, walk this way, brother. Walk this way. It was known. He said, he'll peep the situation real quick. He ain't coming out. I ain't coming out. And people don't know that. That's how that used to go. He'll look at some, peep some, say, I'm not coming out. And wouldn't come out. And people done traveled from Europe. Don't matter. How you would have made it if it was him? When it was him? How you would have made it when people... I was just listening to Little Green Men last night. And I never heard him say this part. But I swear, this is just how it be working. I never heard him say it. Let me see if I can go to it. I never heard him say this part until last night. But I'm like, exactly. Dr. York's teaching Little Green Men. He was saying, he was telling people it was going to be time to move or something to that effect. But when it was time to move, some people didn't want to leave. And they had all this other stuff they wanted to do. How he said it? Let me see if I can find that part.
Okay, is there a Nazarite, very strict? You know what I mean? He didn't know nothing about your Holy Roller Baptist. With the eyebrows and hair years to process itself beneath the ground. Is that right? And from the Sirius Star comes. Now, this book lies. Because it said, I can. God called the firmament hell.
Let me see.
Best to live. Could be in whatever costume, all over the world. That's satisfied. So, regardless of the houses and the land and the food.
Here it is. So it was in the beginning. So I was listening to this shit last night, and he was on.
If all until we get a trail of tears, people who were scattered tribes start gathering in certain areas. It always happens right before a great event. The great event is happening now. If you walk out here tonight when the sun is apparently set and look up, you'll see the 3 stars moving across the sky. We watched it come over, and it's lining up over the pyramids. And every certain amount of days, every 70, it recycles and goes over. These are ancient prophecies that must take place, but you must gather, they tell you. The souls of the people must gather, because it's that combination of souls that send that energy for the realignment.
Okay, cool. So he's saying anyway, I ain't got to explain that.
You follow what I'm saying? So we told people 5 years ago, when we was up in Jazir Abbott, and everything was very beautiful up there. Anybody was up there? Everything was set. But when they said it's time to go, regardless of the houses and the land and the food and everything, regardless, we jumped up and we left everything. We left our houses, we left everything, and we came down here and started from scratch. But many of people here or there said, I'm not ready yet. They wasn't ready to rough it with us. You know what I'm saying? They want to come here once it's finished, and they want.
You see? So even then, he was like, how y'all would have made it? A lot of y'all wouldn't have made it. It don't matter what you think you want to do. When he said it's time to go, it was time to move, and it's like you did that. It wasn't no such thing as you not doing it or you're just not a part of it. I'm like, y'all swearing up and down y'all would have made it, bro. Y'all wouldn't have made it. All you got to deal with is me. I'm not him. All you got to deal with is a guide unto the guide. One of the sons. That's all you dealing with. I am not him. I am not claiming to be he. How poetic do you need me? I am not thou that is thou that. All you got to deal with is me. And what people trying to tell me. I got this to do. I want to do this. I got my life. I got this. Oh. Okay. He didn't stand in nobody's way. He He moved out the way. Once he figured out that that's really what because sometimes people don't know influence. Influence is a real thing. You think this is what you want to do and how you want to move, but in all actuality, you taking advice. And because now you taking advice, that's why you moving like that. That's why you doing that. He didn't move. He didn't stop nobody. You see what I'm saying? So how y'all would have made it? That's why I say it's the faraway love effect. They say they love him, but the ones who were closest to him hated him. It was the one, he said it in the doctrine. He said it was the ones closest to him that did this. His family, those who call us family and friends and old timers, and we love you so much, Pop. I love you to the end of the life. We got kids together. He said them people will be embarrassed when he come out because they gave up and they believed Seals that he was never coming out. They gave up on him. There ain't no fight. There's no freedom fight. The only freedom fight that's gonna come from people like y'all, if you care still. But what I'm observing is people are prioritizing their own individual freedom, lives, what they want to do, all of that. They're putting that over what the hell moving. And this will not stop moving. So you got to decide what you finna do. That's one thing I know about this thing. It will not stop because I've tried to get off. And I can't get off. So wherever they put me, it's still moving. It will keep moving. A matter of fact, it's stuff happening that I don't even know why it's happening. I'm paying attention though. I'm paying attention. I know how to move. I know how to see. You better put yourself in that type of seat. A lot of these people wouldn't have made it. Some of y'all got mad at me. You were mad at me because a certain type of relationship was being challenged. Tell the truth. And I didn't challenge it. I found out people did what they do and move how they move and swing in which direction they swing and all that. I wasn't on the playground. I didn't bother them. I realized that, okay, this is what these people do. The truth of the matter is, he ain't play that. Okay. And he still don't play that. Now, did he ever mistreat people? No. Did he ever hate people from what I saw? No. He ain't handle nobody wrong? No. Okay, that don't mean he play that shit. He never played that. And those who are around didn't play that. Now, we knew people who went, did this, that, but he still will point that out and say, that's that. And they do that. And we don't do that. So when people came and that's how they were moving, I'm like, okay. And eventually I would have conversations with them along the way. Now, when an elder speaks, one of the elders is associated with the council and they speak and say, that ain't how that go. I cannot override what the elder says when they observe something that I'm in charge of. I cannot override that just because of how you feel. I have to tell you, hey, this is what has been stated. And look, don't be surprised if this comes up and this got to happen and da-da-da-da. So how do people choose to deal with it, though? If you choose to deal with it by saying, hey, look, watch out for him. Think about what I just said. I'll bring you a message that the elder gave me and say, this is what's being said about this union. Be aware that there's a possibility that this union they might say that this union need to come to an end. That's how it go here. Remember, there's a whole world out there. that you can go and play in. You don't got to be here, but here I take orders. So how you think you going to be around and not take orders? I take orders. I got higher ups and I have an on high. The only on high that I have is the throne. And I watch and pay attention to the words he put out, the movements of he and the signs around me. I'm a different degree. So I don't just get word of mouth. So how you not going to abide? So, all right, instead of accepting and understanding that that's just what this is. Don't take it too personal. It's not a place for drunkards. So if you like getting drunk all the time, you might get offended, right? Okay. It's not a place for hypersexuality. So if you like having sex all the time, you might get offended. Don't think you being offended is special. Everybody get offended when Nuwapu show up because it start purifying you and removing pieces of you that you thought were you. And removing actions that you thought were benefiting you. So you gotta pay attention to what I'm really saying. Some of y'all ain't gonna get it. Some of y'all starting to understand what I'm really saying. But you got to really look at what I'm saying to really understand what I'm really saying, not what you think I'm saying. I'm talking about what I'm really saying, because you got to really listen to hear what I'm actually saying, because I'll say something without actually saying it, because you think I'm saying one thing, but you got to really listen. You got to really listen. So you hear the word, and now you want to go to someone who's close to me and tell them, hey, watch out for him. Because I had a vision about him. In my dream or travel about him, saying that he was going to try to hold you down and force you to get pregnant and da-da-da-da. And originally this wasn't being brought to me. I had to detect that something was going on in the ether, the energy, the emotional atmosphere of the person that it was being told to. So imagine that this means that because of the proximity, the person that this was being told to was receiving all of this and internalizing it. And if I didn't step in, it would have been went haywire. Pay attention. I stepped in and I said, hey, what's going on? Everything all right? The question. Hey, Adam. Where are you? Why are you? The question don't mean we don't know. It just mean we seeing how deep is it? How bad is it? We keeping you in the waking state while we assessing the damage. We have to engage. Why are you hiding? Where are you hiding? Who told you? Listen. Yo, what's going on? Everything all right? Yeah, it's just no, they said nut. They said no. I said, so what's the situation? What's going on? It's just a lot of games, and it's like when they speaking to me, I know they speaking, but I know it's games, but it's like it's hard to like, and I'm like, yo, and I immediately jumped into the mode of, yo, check this out. This got to be shifted. Shift this, shift that, da-da-da, no, and that's when I addressed it. Remember, it was me addressing it that caused the person to start the slander campaign. But only when I addressed it. So then you would have to think that whatever they were saying was the problem from March up to what time that probably would have been around October, around that time. From March to October, they never said nothing negative. They always said positive things, always love, until I had to approach them about what was being done behind the scenes. What was being done? Someone was being told that I was going to try to force them to get pregnant. First of all, I'm not a forced person. If someone is interacting with me in the sexual plane, it's like, I get it why Tupac would be saying it. Like, why the fuck would I have to tell somebody this must happen? You got to do this. Nah, it be them. It be them saying, let's do this. If anybody going to be truthful. Anyway, I'm not one of those types of people. I know them type of people anyway, though. They said that, and then the pregnancy part. I'm like, I don't want to have children. So even if you were trying to say that I would have tried to tell them, oh, we must make a child because this child is going to... I don't want no children. I never wanted children. You talk to my mother, she'll tell you. He always said that. And she would argue me. She's like, Omari, we need more of you here. She's like, you saying you don't want no children, but we need... Or the world don't benefit then. Because we need more of you. You need to be replicated. It's these other people that have my mama and we talk. You see what I'm saying? So that was 2 lies. And there was some other things that was being stated. So I'm like, okay, when it all came out, I'm like, I talked to the person that was being said. So I said, now let me ask you this. Do you really feel in any way that I would ever have you in danger to do something to you or even allow some, just from you knowing me, would I ever allow any type of danger to come to you? And they were like, no. I said, exactly. So I told them what to do, told them how it'd be done, and started to line that shit up to start that unraveling, untethering process. Because what you don't understand is even if Eve didn't eat the fruit, the fact that Nakash was able to get to her and she listened, Adam would have had to been intuitive enough to undo whatever the fucking snake done put in Eve's ear. You see, that's how this shit goes. And it's so crafty because they get in the garden and you think you can contain it, and then it just moves and moves and moves, and then it bounces, and then it spread, and then it jumped another person. Next thing you know, they're trying to kill the one who over the garden or destroy him. But it's like, what was the original reason? The original reason started off with stuff like that, of you thinking that a relationship that you have with someone is going to have to end. And so they made a statement to that person. A documented statement, and that statement was somewhere along the lines of, if this happened, you ain't gonna like it. If we gotta separate, you ain't gonna like what's gonna happen. That's okay. We got you. That's called motive. That was a threat. Also, there's so many other things that can fall into the category of. So that's one situation. That's one person. What about another person? Said, how many of them is? How many do you think? That was one woman. Another person, their issue was from the beginning, the stuff I had to be in the middle of. It's like, okay, I hope this is gonna go a different way than what I saw. I was in the middle of things. So stuff was being brought to me. Another situation is this woman wants to deal with this woman. But because this woman want to deal with this woman, this other woman is saying she's hurt because this other woman was already dealing with this woman. Now this woman don't want to deal with that woman. Now that woman that didn't want to deal with that woman want to deal with another woman, and that woman is dealing with that woman, and now this woman that's supposed to be their sister is hurt. And so I stepped in the middle of it. Why I do that? Because I'm responsible for the emotional atmosphere that's happening with you got to look at what I'm saying. I'm driving a car. Like how parents, you remember parents? Some of y'all were that sibling, or some of y'all was that sibling, or those siblings fighting in the back. Remember how the parent had to reach back and do that little quick look, hey, sit your ass. Some of y'all didn't have. Some of y'all didn't have parents. Some of y'all had people who birthed you. Shit, I'm talking about, hey, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that quick one. Hey, sit your ass down. Stop. I'm tired of this stupid shit. Hey, almost made me crash in this motherfucker. They turned into a multitasker real quick, doing 90 on the highway quick. Sit your who's driving, mama? And keep driving like this shit happened. Now, I'm not saying I was whooping nobody. I'm just saying I'm driving, and this probably wasn't the best analogy now that I think about it. But I'm driving and shit happening around me, and I'm having to stop driving. Does anybody understand that? Where is there compassion for that? None of this was my will. WHEEL. WILL. It just started happening, and it's like, what? Okay, what happened? All right. Okay, what? Who? Oh, okay, all right. So your sister's saying this hurt her feelings. Maybe y'all shouldn't do this because your sister's saying it hurt her feelings. Simple. And then one of them say, all right, cool, we should put this on hold. That was respected. I noted that. I said, okay, cool. And then the other one don't say that. The other one, I say, yo, everything good? No, I don't get it because this was so divine. I don't. Yo, let me ask you a question. Would you write the master and tell him that? The same thing you said to me. Since you writing the master and you know Wusabat so much now, you understand what's going on, and you think you can tell me something about what happened. Let me ask you a question. Would you write the master and would you tell him what you told me on that phone? That you felt like that was so divine. Would you tell him that? Would you tell him that? That's why I'm telling y'all. Y'all playing with me. You playing with me because you don't know who I am. I know you ain't make it around him. You don't know. I'm the one who can tell you that. That's my role. I can sit there and say who can get through that gate. I can do that. I don't care what nobody say. I can look at you and say, you will not make it. Don't get confused. Don't fool yourself. You can't make it because you ain't true to you. How you going to be true to anybody else, let alone a movement? How you going to make it? You don't write me. Write him and say that. Write him and say what you mad at me about. Write him and say what you got upset with me about. What you was upset on the phone talking to people about. Not knowing I got an ear. That's how it be happening. You don't never know who you talking to, so be careful when you talking. Because you don't know how far I am with this shit. See what I'm saying? So you on the phone speaking, and you saying, I don't get it. Why he saying that? Why he don't get to control who we talk to? I'm gonna talk to whoever I want to talk to. Huh? But you never said that to me because I asked you how you felt. And you just said you was upset because you felt like it was so divine, but you get it. But then you didn't get it because you want to get on the phone and tell them that you asking them why they listening to me. So did you ever get your answer? Did you ever get your answer of why they were listening to me? So now it should be clear. You were upset with me because I suggested that y'all don't pursue that relationship because it was causing pain apparently to your sister. Why did I say sister? Because everybody keep using this Moisard and Ha'u and all this family shit. Y'all never meant it. Y'all didn't treat each other like family. You didn't handle each other like family. You ain't look at each other like family. You ain't deal with one another like family. So then don't be saying Ha'u. I said that shit never meant nothing anyway. People using that word don't mean nothing to me. I look at what you do and see how you move, and I'm gonna assess who move like it's actually a family thing. So, okay, you were upset with me. But eventually, because it take two to tango, one agreed, one overstood. So it didn't occur. But then the one who said that they were feeling some type of way about the two women getting together because that woman who feels the type of way was with the other woman, that same woman went to go and get with the woman who they were saying they felt some type of way was, and I'm still driving right now, by the way. I just dealt with this. And I said, okay, Nuwapu works. Omari. I was like, wait, it's not possible. It's no possible way you calling my name again. We ain't even damn near we ain't left the driveway. We haven't left do you see the mailbox? You want to know why you see our mailbox? Because we haven't left the driveway yet. What happened now? What is it now? Omari, the one who said they had a problem with the relationship. Now they want to be in a relationship with the one the other, which means I'm in the Ross shopping. No, I'm literally in Ross shopping. And I think everything is going great because Nuwapu works. We're getting this other stuff figured out. But no, what wound up happening is they come to me and say, yo, I know I was feeling some type of way about the other situation, but now I literally had to sit down. No, I literally had to sit down. You know how they got the chairs and the sofas around if you go to Ross? I just had a seat. You never just had to have a seat? And I was okay. All right, so let me get this clear. You saying the same person that you were saying you didn't want to date the one you was just with. You want to now date that person? And they was explaining, yeah, and it's just so divine. Everything's just always so divine. So I said, yo, we're in the purple light degree. I can't make none of these decisions for you. I will suggest that you consider the woman who you asked me to step in so that they consider you. Meaning, consider them the same way they were asked to consider you. You know how 1 + 1 = 2 and 1 + 1 also equals 2. So I was like, right? They're like, And what they do? Next thing they do, they telling me that they did pursue the relationship. I'm like, okay. All right. I wore a face of neutrality. in the back of my mind, I said, that's going to be a problem. Do you get what I'm saying? Mine, I'm still just driving. I'm driving the vehicle. So things that are happening behind me, these things were not seeded by me. These were things that people decided they were going to do. All right. I said, listen, this is your decision. Now, if you were expecting that the other woman didn't feel no type of way, no, they do feel the type of way, because all they seeing is that I'm not getting on them two. They're not understanding. We in the purple light. These people making their own decision. Everybody got to make their own decision. It's just that in one of those cases, one was making the decision to listen and honor what I was saying. But the pursuing didn't quit. That pursuing came, and then they became all right. So because of that, that was a new thing. So when we have our gathering, there's PDA, public display of affection, and there are other eyes now entering into the facility. You got to understand, I'm still driving. Y'all let me know when to stop reminding you that I'm driving the vehicle. I'm getting us where we going, right? Okay, cool. So there are other eyes observing and watching and paying attention. And those other eyes also have interest in this woman. And they won't say that that is what's going on, but I know that because somebody might be looking in one direction, but I'm looking in all directions. I'm always actively paying attention, not just paying attention. That's just what I was trained to do. So I have to have a meeting with the council. So I go. I have a meeting with the council. And the council brings it up to me and says, yo, this has been brought to my attention that there's been some PDA of this and this. And, you know, that ain't our way. So what we doing about that? I'm like, well, the first response was, I don't know how anybody come in to try to bring the council something that's going on in a ship that I'm driving or a vehicle that I'm driving when they weren't there to help me build the vehicle or any of that. And I asked them to help and none of that. And now they want to have a conversation about what they witnessing and what they seeing. But they didn't have nothing to do with building this vehicle. I said, I know what's going on around me. And when I said that, it felt like somebody grabbed my neck. So I knew I had to, first of all, watch my mouth. I had to watch my tongue. And I had to be cautious of my airways because who grabbed my neck? You can't, certain things you can't do. And so sometimes you see the movies where the soldier be trying to speak and the council slam that staff. It was like that. Silence. So I said, I said, okay, how about this? I shut up actually for a while. Then the other woman was like, okay, how do I cut this person off then? If this ain't supposed to be, how I cut them off? And then that's when I was able to speak. Like they let my damn neck go. My throat. They let my throat go. And I was like, I said, that's going to be a problem. You don't just cut that type of person off. That's going to be a problem. Just from, I could tell by the way they cry, all the different tendencies of what they'll do just based off of that. I said, that's going to be a problem. And everybody looked at me and I was trying to explain it. And then they went back to it. And then eventually that's what it came out. I said, this is what it's coming. I didn't know there was a conversation being had in the background. Conversations were being had in the background. But one of the ones involved went to the council. The council not going to lie to you. The council is going to speak to you straight up and down, and the elders. So they already been through all this shit a few more times than I have. I'm like, yo, I never judged you. I never had no ill will against you. When they want me, people want to go out of town, do all their thing. I didn't do nothing, say nothing. I just focused on what we were doing. So it came down to it. That was the conversation. Say, hey, look, y'all might be asked to separate the union. Okay, all I want to ask now is, is anybody going to be able to say with confidence that you're going to stand before the master and say, hi, my name is Tranisha, and this is my wife? If you feel like it, if you feel that it's wrong what I'm saying, and you hate me, and you mad at me, all right, then here's what I suggest you do. Block me. All right. Unsubscribe. Forget about it. And stay in the doctrine and explain it to him when you get to him. This ain't my thing. This is not my doctrine. This is not my nuwapu. I didn't make it. And none of this mine. I'm only in the seat for what I'm in the seat for. I only have a role. I'm a soldier. I am not the general. I am a general. I am not the general. I am a chief. I am not the chief. I am a master. I am not the master. I am a teacher. I am not the teacher. I'm a musician. I am not the musician. I'm a warrior. I am not the warrior. You see, I'm a son of Yanun. I am not Yanun. I am a son of Marduk. I am not Marduk. Is it clear? Because we might have to just start opening up with that on every live, so it shouldn't be hard to find it when people try to say that I'm trying to. Okay, now we got that clear. If you have an issue with what I'm saying, if you can really hear what I'm saying, then you got to think about it. You're not really mad at me. So maybe you need me to be the subject or the target for your resentment, your anger, your you know what I'm saying, your hatred, whatever it is. Maybe you need me to be the target, and we're not foreign to that. I'm just saying, do you really think you're going to be able to stand in front of him and be on what you've been on, you see what I'm saying, outside of Nuwapu? And the answer is no. You ain't gonna be able to do that. I was allowing people to be, I provided an environment where people could still be some of themselves while transforming, so it wouldn't be too much of a shock to them. Y'all saying y'all want to have some fun? Okay, we might have a day or a night where we have some fun. Whoever, if it's the women involved around me, it's the women involved around me. I know better than to do it with a huge group, because one situation of having a social club in a basement, ain't no telling what that would have turned into if I didn't what? Intervene. I walked into it before it started to spread. I saw where it was coming from. It was going to spread. So because of that, I shut it down. So I know better than to try to do something. Oh, y'all, all right, y'all, we're gonna be adults. We're gonna have us some fun. That's the master would move like that, but he know better than who to do it with also. That's why they were asking him back then. He said, if we Hebrews, why do we drink? If we supposed to be Hebrews, why do we drink? He said, we can drink. He said, we don't get drunk. So anybody talking about we ain't did this, we ain't did that, you don't know what you talking about. He said, we can drink, we don't get drunk. I'm talking about that day and time. That don't mean people supposed to be going and pick up alcohol. I still say avoid it if and when you can, and don't be no alcoholic. That's what I would say. We ain't finna kick it like if you drink that you don't drink. We ain't finna kick it like that. That if you gonna take a sip, that you gonna kick it like you don't take no sip. That's not what we do. But the point is, I'm not going to no strip club because there's no place for me in the strip club. So I ain't been at no strip club since 2021, 2022, whenever that point was. I think it was 2021. Whenever that friend group that was out there in the world that I used to that I went to school with, I used to hang with them every once in like maybe 3 times a year for everybody's birthday. They hit the strip club or do the party bus, or I go on my own. But I stopped going to the strip club after I got scared. I got scared by who? An angel that walked up on me and said, you know, Jesus wasn't in the strip club. Nigga, I was minding my business. I probably would have still been in the strip club. I didn't get mad at the angel. I ain't get mad at go slandering the angel. Hey, it's a nigga out there. Tall, brown skin, long locks, you know what I'm saying, big ass eyes, going around telling niggas prophecies and shit, reading the niggas' eyes. Don't listen to him. I ain't go slandering them, nigga. I drove straight home. I was scared because I was shook on how the fuck he even know what I was about to do. How the hell he know that? And even if he did, what kind of message is that? That nigga said, you know, Jesus wasn't in the strip club. I'm reaching for my door handle. I done gave this nigga the snacks he needed and everything. I'm about to go on about my day or my night. I'm about to pay the $100 parking. That nigga said, hey, you know, Jesus wasn't in the strip club. I turned to look. I was stuck, partially because it was freezing outside. And I'm freezing. So I'm really freezing and froze, and I'm confused. And then he said, Jesus wasn't in the strip club. He said he was about his father's business. I'm like, why the fuck this nigga putting emphasis on? What the fuck this nigga talking about? It's cold as fuck. So I'm like, I gotta listen to this nigga because he could be a fucking stranger and all. I know all that. So it really didn't register what the nigga was saying until I got my ass fully in the car. So he said, Jesus wasn't in a strip club. You didn't find him there. He was about his father's business. He said, what was the last part he said? Oh, he said, God will talk to you through the wind. And when he said, God will talk to you through the wind, I would have been all right if the wind didn't start blowing like a motherfucker. It picked up and just said, that nigga standing there like he ain't even affected by the wind. I don't even think his clothes blew. I'm sitting here frozen. This nigga standing there like it's not 30 degrees. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he walked off, disappeared. And I just like how I'm stuttering, I got my ass in the, closed the door, and I guess I'm not going to Blue Flame. I went the fuck home. I ain't never drove straight home. I think I drove through some of y'all house to get there. I drove straight home. I didn't adhere to no streets, nigga. I think I drove straight home. I don't even think I backed my car out. I went through the Texaco, straight past the red light. Keisha Lamb Bottom, I drove through her house. And I got straight home, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I was shook the whole way. I was like, it's like I kept hearing, like in the movies, where you hear the echo, father's business, father's business. I'm like, how the fuck this nigga boy still in my brain? And to this day, I ain't been to the strip club. I'm scared straight. And if you think that mean I ain't never wanted to go back to the strip club, you a damn lie. So it's like, damn, I don't want to go back to the strip club, but I didn't go. But I'm not mad at the angel that said, hey, nigga, what the fuck is you doing? They walked up on me. What am I supposed to do? So now you right up on me and you get the opportunity to hear it straight from me. Like, all right, here, this is what's going on. Don't get mad at me, nigga. They don't walk up on me. Shit, that didn't even, my situation more embarrassing. All you got to do is, didn't nobody even hear it. I bet all the angels was listening. Nigga, like, I'm going to get back where I'm at. And it's like, I know the women going to be looking at me like, What you mean, you go to Earth and come back without having no damn. So I said, let's pull your file. Let's pull your file. What you was doing when you was. Shit, nigga, it's less embarrassing for me to say it to you. They sent one of the, bro, ain't no telling who that was. I'm forever embarrassed and scared of the strip club. And I know y'all think I'm playing. I done hung with the bros. Bros, have we ever gone to the strip club? I'm saying since them times. The new brothers who come around. Since we get together, we click up, we go do what we do. Do we ever go to the strip club? Shit, nobody wouldn't know. Hell no, I'm scared straight. Forever. I don't want to go back. I'm scared. It'd be just my luck. Be just my luck. You know what I'm saying? Having a good old time. Motherfucker turn around and said, what I tell you? What'd you, What I told you. No. Oh, shit. Father, forgive me. Hell no, nigga. I'm scared of the strip club. I ain't never going back. So shit, if we gonna do a strip night, we do the strip night at the fucking crib. But that ain't something I always damn did. You know what I'm saying? So one time out of 2025, if I say we gonna have us some fun, then that's why I say ain't no men, so you ain't gotta worry about no extra eyes and none of that. Y'all have y'all little fun. And then we gonna be grown, we grown. Don't try to weaponize that shit, nigga. This is what the fuck it is. And if it ain't that, then it would have been a problem from the beginning. It was never no problem. Only time become a problem where, again, something being challenged. And people become dangerous, bro. But you have to understand, this is why I'm not upset with people. Because it's primitive. Think about it. If we look at evolution, not saying you have to believe in it, But just look at it, right? Let's look at the possibility of evolution. If evolution is true, then that would mean that there were certain circles and cliques of human beings, tribes even, if you will, that had to evolve over time, and those evolutionary components were registered in the genetics of the human beings of today. So whatever proto-existers match up to the very genetic marker to those who are current modern existers. Correct? So in today's day and age, a lot of human beings are not as active as they may have been in the earlier ancient days. Doesn't mean that they lost the systems that allowed for that activity. And so if somebody messages you right now, right, or called you right now and say, hey, yo, and you say, what's good? Hey, you meant to post that on social media? And you really got that call. Something going to happen in your chest. You're going to feel a compression there. Okay? It's similar if somebody try to expose like a picture of you or something like that. It'll be any type of exposing or a potential exposing or feeling naked or feeling vulnerable is what the word will be. When you feel vulnerable and you're feeling like there could be a potential attack, your body goes into immediate activation mode. There's a compression in the chest. There's a serum that's released. There's an adrenaline that's boosted. And the parasympathetic nervous system has to activate. No, excuse me, the sympathetic. The sympathetic nervous system has to activate. Why? Because blood has to get moving. And it'll tell you might got to fight somebody. You see? So when somebody triggered to challenge you or put you in danger in any way, that meant a fight in the ancient days. Sometimes to the death. So your arms would fill with blood so you could hit harder. Your legs are filled with blood so you could run faster. Your whole body would circulate blood at an exceeding rate, and your heartbeat would speed up, and your breathing would increase, and your adrenaline would boost. So your strength and all, it's like you are in war mode. Now watch this. Let's say somebody said that to you. Hey, you meant to post that on social media? And you went to go check, and you find out they were just playing. They were pranking you. Like, nah, I was just fucking with you. That mean that blood still got the pumping. All that stuff still happening. So you still dealing with those feelings, correct? All right, because that system is still in place. So a system of exile is a similar situation. It would mean that if you were exiled from a group or put out or cut off from a tribe or cut off from a social circle, it would mean that you would potentially face being murdered or killed from outside with no protection. Whether you face other tribes when you go into those foreign lands or deal with vicious animals because you can't go into the safe grounds anymore. So you have to fight to the death sometimes when you got cut off from certain groups. You see? So genetically, you remember that as your great grandparents. You remember that genetically, not memory as in neurologically. You remember it genetically. Study what I'm saying because the markers carry information. So that's why your systems are able to function. Okay, the proteins that allow for the functions to occur and the systems that allow for the functions to occur from those genes, all right, activating. Meaning without amino acids, you don't have the ability to knock somebody's ass out. Those amino acids are still programmed based on your genes and genome. This is why I tell people they got to study genetics to even start having a conversation with me about what they think Nuwaubu is. Learn what it actually means and you'll start learning what the nature of people are. Okay, or the nature of a person is, so you won't really feel offended or confused about why people do what they do. I understand it. A lot of it is primitive. And so if someone feels they've been exposed, then they might lash out, okay? Or they might do anything to take down the person who did it just out of vengeance if they feel they've been exposed in any way. And they would take that to the grave because, again, naturally that's what they would feel is life or death. So you might be thinking that just because you're speaking to somebody and exposing and saying what they did, you might be thinking you just saying what they did. But in all actuality, some people will really feel, it won't be real, but the feelings, the chemical responses and releases will be the exact same as a life or death situation. So they decide that they're going to bring charges against you or accuse you or try to destroy you or slander you or turn the group against you so that the group will accept them back in and cast you out. They don't want to die. Now, does it mean that they actually are thinking that way? No. The body doesn't know the difference, though. I just explained it to you. Same way as somebody says, if you go within 6 feet of somebody in 2020, you're going to die. The body doesn't know it's not really in danger. The moment you believe that and accept it, the chemical responses are the same. It's the same way if you watch a scary movie. When you watch a scary movie and you have a jump scare, there was nothing there to actually scare you, but the imagery and the sounds and all of that caused you to be afraid. The men will feel triggered by who you are. So men got to be cautious. Those of y'all who are men who come and y'all have women coming with you, you need to really be cautious. All right. There was a brother, Garfield Bright. There is a brother, not was a brother. I don't know why I said it like that. There's a brother named Garfield Bright. I remember I was 15, 16 years old, and I was dealing with this sister who in high school, she was telling me about her past and all of that and all the things she used to do. And, you know, it just was opening my eyes to how, you know, she would move and stuff like that. So every time I turn around, anytime something went down or another person introduced, she was telling me basically like she was dealing with them or had dealt with them before in the past and all this. So it kind of made me paranoid on certain things. All right, cool. So this brother named Garfield Bright came up with something called Raw Incorporated, where we used to meet at his house. And we would go over certain lyrics and build and just put in. And I remember she was explaining to me, my lady at that time was explaining to me that he had a tattoo, a Garfield tattoo. And I said, how the hell you know that? And she was like, because he showed us when we were in class. I took his class at Georgia State. I said, okay, cool. And it was just the way she was saying it. But he was explaining to me. I was like, so I went to one of his what do you call it, classes. And I brought it up. So I asked him, I said, I said, you taught at Georgia State? And he was like, yeah. I said, so you know somebody named this and this? And he was like, yeah, she was a sweet girl, da, 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 da. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And it's like, he's elder than me at the time. So he kind of like looked at me a little bit, but he never addressed it. He just kept moving like it never happened. But that moment where he kind of looked at me like that was like instilled in my brain, where there was an unspoken realization at that moment, like, wait a minute, am I tripping about something? And I was tripping about whether or not the lady I was dealing with the man. You see? Now that trip in my brain didn't stay in my brain. It wound up coming out in my actions toward that man. And because of how he looked at me and because of that never occurred again. It's like I was 15, 16, but it never occurred again. It was a long enough situation for me to be like, that. I'm not moving like that. And it didn't occur again. Some of y'all never had that type of moment. And so some of y'all still move like that. Some of y'all still come around me and move like that. You have to understand, when you come with, said, a lot of the women want to, be aligned with, me. That's not nothing, to be worried about, da, 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 da. It's just a part of it. He said, all you gotta do is look at the subconscious plane. The subconscious plane is super active. He said, and it's something that people need to study more. He said, don't allow your brain to take over and you be worried about things that are part of an irreality. He said that's only the subconscious cause you to have certain dreams like that. You see what I'm saying? So he was explaining it to him. He said, yeah, don't be worried about that. He said, all she's seeing is you're that dynamic teacher in her life, and now she's meeting the one who taught you. He said, don't allow that to cause you to submit to an irreality. So my father explained that to me. Some of you have to look at it like that. That don't mean that your woman wants to get with me. And even if she did, it's up to two people for that to even occur. So if I'm telling you that ain't how I move, and you still having to worry or wonder, then you need to be more looking into why you feeling that way. And sometimes it ain't even the woman. Sometimes it's just you and what you're not willing to let go of, or something that'll happen in your relationship or something that happened to you. So watch when you're dealing, because certain ones, once they get to a certain degree, again, they're not going to address it. They'll just move past it. But when they realize it's something that doesn't fade, okay, and that testosterone and the animosity and all that stuff's still there, and you can't really hide it no matter how you try until you deal with it. When they realize it's still there, they just stop dealing with you. You see? So yeah, the men do it too. Sometimes it's stuff like that, thinking that somebody trying to talk to their mate, or always thinking that someone is after they mate. That's not what the case is. Another thing that the men do is y'all don't talk. You got to communicate more, because that's one of the strongest suits that you have. As a man, you overstand that. It'd be different, you know what I'm saying? Men, you supposed to get it. Like, you can communicate. You can talk this shit out, dap it up, the end, and move on. I don't know how some of y'all were raised, but I got a lot of brothers. And me and my brothers would get into it. You see what I'm saying? Or I'll see my brothers get into it. And then at the end, I tell them, hey, look, man, hey, dap up. Y'all good, da-da-da-da. And niggas move on and get more stuff done and live life. Because it's testosterone. You're in the village. You're in the jungle. Or whatever you want to call it. And men are acting as men act. You see, you're not just men. You're supposed to be supreme beings. So men can blow this shit out the water too if y'all can't let go of certain ways that you were before you started to walk. You got to let that shit go. Then y'all be clicking up and think I can't see it. Stop doing that. Stop clicking up. If you around and it's 30 brothers, it's all y'all around. It ain't just, don't stop. Yeah, you starting to feel it now because y'all niggas was comfortable when I was talking about the sisters. I can feel all that through the phone. Niggas as soon as you talk about the women, niggas is comfortable. The women just, they'll listen. They'll deal with all of it, they'll take it, they'll understand it, and they'll even feel it if you're not talking to them, and they still won't make no problem with it. So you start talking to the men, here they come. They don't start walking around pacing now. No, yeah, you know I was coming to your door. We don't be clicking up. We don't got time to be clicking up. Why are you clicking up? The men click up, and they don't think I can see it. And then you trying to figure out why other men they feeling some type of way because y'all clicking up. You see, you merge forces as a unit. You do the clicking up thing, and then it becomes a problem to where now when you have a problem, you want to talk to the one you clicked up with. And now they like, well, since you brought that problem up, I was thinking about this. And they bring their problem up to you.
Kind of late for you to be.
You see me alright. Must have been difficult for you.
Kind of late for you to be walking alone out here.
Can I get an amen?
Everybody good? Oh shit, how much did he hear? Everything. I have to be out here to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all good? Everybody good? What's up? Everybody straight? I walked straight up to the nigga who was just talking the most shit. And what's good? You all good? Hey man, it's gonna be a great day today, bro. We got it. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta watch. You gotta watch that, because let's say I'm not there to even intervene at that moment, that it just spreads and spreads and spreads and spreads and spreads. And it's like, you probably won't remember even why you said you wanted to take the walk, because you'll be so invested in what you think you got a disagreement about. You see? I'll tell you like this. You don't want my seat, so give that part up.